rock bottom is not where you end. It is where you begin. Welcome to Story Studio 91. Today, we bring you a story about a man who slept in his car with $2 in his pocket and built a billion-dollar empire. His name is Paul DeJoria, and his story will change the way you see struggle forever. Paul was born in Los Angeles to immigrant parents. His father left when he was 2 years old. His mother could not afford to keep him. When he was 9 years old, she sent him away. He had to sell newspapers and Christmas cards on the street just to survive. By the time he was a teenager, Paul was in a gang. He was angry. He felt abandoned. He was heading down a dark path. But something inside him knew there was more. He joined the Navy. He learned discipline. He learned that he could change his life if he was willing to work harder than everyone else. After the Navy, Paul tried different jobs. He sold encyclopedias door to door. He sold insurance. Nothing worked. He barely made enough money to eat. Then his wife left him. She took their child. Paul was alone. He was broke. He had nothing. He lived in his car, a beat-up old Rolls-Royce that barely ran. He parked it on the streets of Los Angeles. Every night, he slept in the back seat with $2.27 to his name. Most people would have given up. Most people would have said, "This is too hard. Life is too unfair." But Paul did not give up. Every morning, he woke up in that car and told himself the same thing. Today will be different. Today I will find a way. He got a job selling shampoo. He went door to door to hair salons. He knocked on hundreds of doors every week. Most people said no. Most people did not want to hear his pitch. But Paul kept going. He learned everything about hair care. He listened to hairstylists complain about bad products. He studied what they needed. Then he had an idea. What if he could create a better shampoo? A product that really worked? A product that professionals would love? Paul had no money, but he had a friend named Paul Mitchell who knew about hair products. Together, they decided to start a company. They borrowed $700. That was all they had. $700 to start a business. Everyone told them they were crazy. The beauty industry already had big companies with millions of dollars. How could two broke guys compete? But Paul believed in something bigger than money. He believed in quality. He believed that if you create something truly great, people will find you. They created their first product. It was different from everything else on the market. It had no harsh chemicals. It smelled amazing. It made hair look incredible. Paul took samples to salons. He drove all over Los Angeles in that same beat-up car. He gave away free products. He asked stylists to just try it once. Slowly, word spread. One stylist told another. One salon ordered more, then another, then another. But success did not come easy. There were many times when Paul wanted to quit. There were days when he had no money for food. There were nights when he wondered if he made a terrible mistake. His family did not support him. His friends thought he was wasting his time. Even his business partner's family told Paul Mitchell to quit. But they did not quit. They kept making the best product they could. They kept showing up. They kept believing. After 2 years of struggle, something shifted. A famous salon in Beverly Hills started using their products. Celebrities started asking for Paul Mitchell shampoo by name. Orders exploded. Paul could barely keep up. What started with $700 was now making millions. Within 10 years, Paul DeJoria became a multimillionaire. Within 20 years, he became a billionaire. But he did not stop there. Paul started another company called Patron Tequila. Everyone told him he was crazy again. They said Americans do not drink expensive tequila. Paul did not listen. He created the finest tequila in the world. He put it in a handmade bottle. He sold it for more money than any other tequila. Today, Patron is one of the most successful spirits brands in history. It made Paul billions more, but here is what makes Paul's story truly special. He never forgot what it felt like to be homeless. He never forgot what it felt like to have nothing. Today, Paul gives away millions of dollars every year. He feeds homeless people. He helps veterans. He supports schools in poor neighborhoods. He funds clean water projects around the world. He hires people who are struggling. people with criminal records, people who made mistakes, people who just need a chance, because he was once one of them. John Paul says that being homeless was the best thing that ever happened to him. It taught him that things do not define you. Success is not about what you have. It is about what you overcome. He says most people quit right before their breakthrough. They get tired. They get scared. They listen to people who tell them it is impossible. But impossible is just an opinion. John Paul slept in his car. He had $2. He had no business experience. He had no connections. He had every reason to give up. But he had one thing that mattered more than all of that. He had refusal to accept his circumstances as final. Every morning in that car, John Paul made a choice. He chose to believe that today could be different. He chose to take one more step. He chose to knock on one more door. And those daily choices made when he had nothing built an empire worth billions. Today, John Paul DeJoria is 80 years old. He still works every day. Not because he needs money, but because he loves what he does. And because he knows his story can inspire others. He tells young people, success unshared is failure. He tells them that the point of winning is not to hoard everything for yourself. The point is to lift others up. John Paul proved that it does not matter where you start. It does not matter if you are homeless. It does not matter if everyone tells you no. What matters is that you refuse to stay down. What matters is that you get up one more time than you fall. Rock bottom is not the end of your story. It is the foundation you build your empire on. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe to Story Studio 91 and share this wisdom with someone who needs it today.